Uh, Thank you, Mr. Chandrasekhar, for the kind introduction. And I think this being the last session and being 6:15 Saturday, I will not stand for a long time between you and your weekend glass of drink or your family party. And secondly, I think this presentation is also a boon for me as well as to you, because it has been gifted by one of my highly intellectual colleague. So therefore, many of the slides may go tangentially over the head, and I may not really remain on the slide and cut short my talk. This is a very standard disclaimer. I speak for myself and not for my company. And I'm bound to just show you a snapshot of our company, how it evolved. So we started our journey in 1966 as a textile mill, textile factory. And then through all these steps of back integration, today we stand tall as one of the largest petroleum related manufacturing company, which has its footprint in across the whole value chain. And our recent two additions have been telecom and retail ventures. So this is how our company looks like. Now, I think it's only coincidental and rather highly coincidental that I have been asked to talk about how to develop an IP ecosystem in a corporate manufacturing organization, and none other than our company probably could be more well positioned to talk about such an initiative, because we have done it in the last several years about IP from a very ground level position to a considerably good position, both in terms of content as well as in terms of ecosystem. So I would only like to give you a very brief idea as to how we went on building this ecosystem from my own hands-on experience. So what we understood is that IP ecosystem development has three main pillars. I think when you start from a ground level in a manufacturing company which is business-wise pretty comfortably placed and also ethical, also not challenged much, also not litigated much, etc., etc. Probably when you start the first IP talk, you talk about the potential risks and the risk avoidance. Then you also take on some awareness initiatives, and then you get into the protection, exclusion, and all kinds of stuff. I think protection, creation, and competitive exclusion probably comes at the end in terms of building an ecosystem. Anyway, that's only our experience. And then finally, you achieve a real IP savvy ecosystem if you are able to ingrain IP into the policy and strategy of the company's business. So now the thing is that so there are basically two different ways, as we see, among these three pillars. Your work about risk avoidance and your work about IP protection and exclusion, etc., are more on the implementation side, whereas your awareness building activities are more on the thought leadership side. So therefore, the awareness building activities are of a little higher importance, because as an IP professional in the company, you need to take on the thought leader position, and only then you can really do the other implementations. And when you are respected as a thought leader, or if you are accepted as a thought leader, then gradually you can proceed to the path of entrenchment by way of policy and strategy. Now, risk avoidance, for example, it is for employees, it is also for the third parties, and it is also from the perspective of competitors. So I do not have to really teach this audience a lot about, what exactly we need to do in all these risk avoidance related activities. But would like to only mention that we put a lot of big emphasis